Thank you for tuning in to the latest edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. Whether you're listening during your commute, while working out, or just relaxing at home, we appreciate you. Every download, every listen, and every subscription means a lot. Up next, the 12 Kyle podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. And thank you for subscribing to the latest edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. I am your boy, 12 Kyle. I want to thank you all for tuning in as you do each and every week. Man, check this out. So today I'm scrolling on Facebook, right? And I see this, it's a clip of a video. And in the video, like right above the video, the caption read, it showed these guys partying, and the caption read, "Younger me partying at 3 a.m. when work started 4 hours later." And all I could do was laugh because it made me think of the times when I would party all night long and like go home, get a little bit of sleep, and be bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, ready for work the next day. And those days, I mean, like now, when I think about my life now, obviously I'm settled, I'm old, I'm washed. You know, I got kids, I'm married, so it's not, at this particular time I was single, didn't have any kids. Hell, I don't even know if I think we broken up. So I wasn't even in a relationship at the time. Right. So I'd only been in Atlanta for a little bit more than a year. So we had a situation where, you could party. And Atlanta, and I'm going to give you the year, it was 1998. Atlanta was a place where you could party literally all night. So, as I went to this spot, and I'm going to tell you the name of the spot. The name of the spot was a club called 112. You may have heard of it. Famously once known as the place where the players dwell. So let me give you a little backstory. So when I moved to Atlanta in July of 1997. Me and my man Jay Fresh, we moved here from South Carolina. I graduated from South Carolina State University. Fresh graduated from Coastal Carolina University. And so we moved here. Neither of us knew anybody in the city when we got here. I was young, had a pocket full of money, and I just liked to have a good time. I had a relationship when I first moved here, but by the time I got here and things kind of settled, my girl who I dated in college, we had broken up for a year or so, whom I'm now married to. So, but we had some time apart or whatever. So long story short, I get to Atlanta, and one of the things that, me and Jay Fresh had to do was like we had to acclimate ourselves with the city. And so sometimes you got to touch the city, you got to touch people. So we would go out and party. And so it's different because partying, I can't speak to partying anywhere else, but partying in Atlanta in the 90s was just different. Like it was a different vibe. And so there were places that you could literally party from 10 o'clock until 6 in the morning. Like 112 didn't close until 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. I was never going to stay in there that long, but I had been in some clubs where, you literally could party. So long story short, what happens is me and Fresh, the first year that because we only lived together for a year. And then after that year, Fresh moved, we had a townhouse together that we rented, and then Fresh moved. He was in the northwest side of the city. I moved to Decatur, where it's great, right? And so, but we would still hang out. We would still hang out on the weekends. Now when we lived together, we would go to clubs sometimes during the middle of the week, and we party, and then we come home, get a couple hours of sleep, and then go to work. And so this particular night, I almost knew that Fresh wasn't gonna hang out with me, but I hit him up anyway. I was like, "Yep." I called him. I was like, "Yo, man, I heard that DJ such and such is spinning at 112, and I heard that this was a good DJ." So like that's how we based on which clubs we were going to when we heard about the DJs. Again, I'm only in Atlanta a little bit more than a year because it's right around September-ish, I guess. And so maybe November. So it was, toward the latter end of 1998. And so I hit Fresh up. I was like, "Yo, Jay Fresh, you want to roll to 112? You want to meet me out there?" Because when we lived together, we would just take one car. And we both, there's that point in time in the night where you just realize, okay, like the club it's reached this apex. Let's just go and take it on in. But here's the thing: I knew like Jay Fresh is more of a house head than he is a hip hop head at this point. So at 112, they ain't really playing. Like the DJ's gonna have a house set, but he's not gonna play house all night. So me and Jay Fresh would go to this club called Club Esso. And Esso had 3 different levels, and one of the levels they played house music all night long. So we would go to Club Esso on, I think it was Saturday nights, and we party or whatever like that. So when I made the invitation for him to come meet me at 112 where the players dwell, he was like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm not gonna go." And it was I'll never forget. It was a Wednesday night. And so because I heard this DJ was, and I'm sorry, I can't remember who the DJ was, but I heard this DJ was really nice. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go check him out. So I leave the crib at like 10 o'clock. I get to 112, I get there, maybe, I can't remember. I know I was there probably about 10:30. 10:30, I walk in the club. Walk in, get patted down or whatever like that. I'm in 112, so I'm in there, just enjoying the music. Now, again, I don't know anybody in it. I only know a handful of people in Atlanta at this point. But I get to the 112 and I was like, okay, well, let me just chill for a second. So I'm gonna post up at the bar. So I posted up at the bar, and again, it's 10:30, so it's early. But you could see, man, it was just waves and waves of women coming in. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just chill, see what's popping, what's cracking. And so I remember it was like 11:30. By 11:30, 112 was jumping. Like it was, people were literally like, the line outside was long because I asked somebody who came in and was standing next to me at the bar. I said, "Yo," I said, "How long you been in?" He was like, "Oh," he said, "I just got in." He's like, "Man, the line outside is crazy long." I was like, "Wow, okay, that's what's up." And so I'm chilling there, whatever. The DJ's doing his thing. He's doing his thing. And I'll never forget it. I was sitting at the bar. I was drinking a Sprite, right? Because I drank at that particular time, but I ain't really, you guys know, I'm not much of a drink. So I had a Sprite and I'm drinking the Sprite and there's a guy standing next to me and he's ordering, he's ordering some beer or something. I think Heinekens. He ordered some Heinekens and a couple of Coronas. And so he was supposed to be getting the beers and taking them to his homeboys. And so I was like, so I'm standing there, I'm not really paying him any attention. He's yelling to the bartender, whatever he wants, or whatever like that. And I'll never forget it. The DJ was scratching and he was mixing in this song. And the song that he was mixing in was a song that I was familiar with, but I didn't know if anybody else was familiar with because I recognized the cut because he was kind of bringing it in and then taking it out, he was like basically previewing the song that he was about to play, right? And so I'm hearing this song and when he finally plays it, it's a song called Like It Like That by A Tribe Called Quest. The song is produced by, it was produced by the Uma, but in my opinion, and there's been no way to substantiate this, but I think that song was produced by the late great James DeWitt Yancey, aka Jay Dilla. So Jay Dilla's my guy. Y'all know me. If y'all know how me and Jay Dilla go way back, not literally, but that's my guy. Like I'm a big fan, and so he plays Like It Like. Now keep in mind, it's Like It Like That is a song on the new Tribe album. The album was new at the time. It's called The Love Movement. It was Tribe's, at the time, it was Tribe's last album. So when he plays it, you know, you get kind of mixed. Now the dance floor is packed, right? You get kind of a mixed reaction. People, you know, they're still dancing or whatever. So when I hear it, I go, yo! And the dude next to me goes, yo! And we both look at each other like, you know that song? And he looks at me like, you know that song? And I look at him like, do you know that song? And I'm like, what you know about that song? And so he's playing Like It Like That. And so we're both like nodding our head like big time, like we're thoroughly enjoying the song. And then he leans over, he's like, yo, this is my shit. He's like, man, I love Dilla. And I was like, yo, me too. Like that. So we get to talking and we're listening to the music, but he's playing the song, and he may have played Like It Like That for maybe, I don't know, 45 seconds. So we're banging our heads, just bobbing to the music, right? And when the song goes off, he's like, yo, this is my, so he leans over, he's like, yo, this is my shit right here. He's like, man, I love Jay. It's like, I love this album, man. Tribe is my joint. I was like, word, me too, like that. So we have a little small talk. And so he's like, yo, man, he's like, what's your name? Now, meantime, he's still waiting on his beers that he's ordered. And I was like, I just told him KD, which is my initials. Because if I had told him Kyle, he wouldn't remember. And he told me his name. I don't remember his name at all. Even to this day, still don't remember his name. So he was like, so the bartender tells him like, hey, here, put the beers down or whatever like that. So he pays for the beers. And he was like, yo, who you with? And I'm like, why are you asking me who am I with? And I was like, I came solo. He's like, word? He's like, come on over here. We got a section over here. And I'm like, okay. Because I'd only been in 112 maybe at that point, maybe 3 times. This is probably my 3rd time in 112. So they have a little section. I wouldn't even call it VIP, but it was a little section. I guess you could kind of call it VIP. And so I walk over and he introduces, he's like, yo, this is KD. This is my boy. Da, 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 da. This is my boy. He literally just met me at the bar. And so I'm like, you know, it was 4 other guys. So I dap them up, you know, we talked, chopping it up a little bit. And again, I'm talking over music. So I don't even know if they heard what I was saying. I didn't understand what they were saying at all. And so homie was like, yo, da 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 da. And then so the DJ went to his, I guess you could call it like his New York set. And so at this point, he's playing all of that 90s up north, Jay-Z, DMX, hip hop from New York City. And the crowd is going crazy. And so he's elbowing me like, yo, this is my shit. This is my shit. I was like, yo, I used to jam that at school, da 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 da. And so he asked me where I went to school. So I'm South Carolina State University. And so we're just vibing and just and it was like every single song the DJ put on like was smoking. So these guys, by this time, as he's into his set, everybody's finished their beers, right? So he's like, yo, he's like, I'm about to go to the bar. You want something, man? We're going to get a couple bottles. Like, bottles? I was like, I ain't about to drink no bottles in here. But I was like, no, I'm good. I said, just go and get the bottles. So he goes and dude comes back with 2 bottles of Moet. So we got bottles of Moet in the section, in the VIP section. And I'm chilling with 4 guys that I don't even know. And when I tell you, I cannot remember this DJ's name. This DJ was killing it, right? And so I look at my watch. It's 1:30. And me and homie, we chopping it up. We talking about music. We talking about the women in there and everything. And as the music got more and more, you know, and the guys were drinking the Moet, you know, the section started getting a little bit more lively. And so the next thing I know, it's like a little, I can't even call it a couch, but it was, lack of a better term, it was a chair. So dude's standing up on a chair. So now it's 2 dudes standing up on the chair. Me and homie, we're talking or whatever like that. We're vibing to the music. So we're starting to get some attention. And so next thing you know, it's like 7 girls come over. Young ladies, excuse me. 7 young ladies come over. And when I tell you all of them were fine. Even the heavy set one, she was bad too. So so they come over there in the section. So we just talking and chopping it up. You know, they said, well, hey, who are you? I said, I'm KD. And so I'm looking at my time. I'm looking at my watch. Now it's 2:00. 112 is bursting through the seams. The DJ's killing it. The liquor's flowing. Everybody's having a good time, but it's 2 a.m. and it's time for me really to take my butt home. But I ain't leaving just yet. The club was too wild. It was just way too crazy. Now, again, it is now Thursday morning and it's 2 a.m. and I have to go to work. I have to be at work at 8, right? And so I'm telling myself in my head, okay, if I leave by this time, I can get home in 30 minutes. I can, jump in the shower real quick and, get up at 7:30 and be at work on time. That sounded good in my head, but it made no sense. And so next thing I know, the DJ goes into like his Southern set. So he's playing all of the down south hip hop at that particular time. I'm talking Cash Money, No Limit, and the crowd is bananas. He's playing all ATL stuff, Outkast, Goody Mob. He is, when I say he's in his bag, he's in his bag. And this DJ is killing it. And our section, again, by this time, we're like 12 deep. It's just, and the girls are having a good time. We all just dancing in a circle. And we just like, I don't know nobody's name. I don't have nobody's phone number. I don't know none of these people, but I'm having a ball. And then I look at my watch again. It's now 3 a.m. Some people are starting to leave, but 112 is still rocking. It's still going crazy. And I'm like, Kyle, you need to go home. Like, I know you don't want the night to end, but this is the little guy on my shoulder that's talking to me. Kyle, you need to take your ass home because like you can't do this and function at work tomorrow. You can't. And folks, I can only think of one time where I've ever called out at a job. And it was because I was sick. I don't call out from work. So I'm one of those people that I go to work. Like when it's time to go to work, I go to work. So, and I wasn't sick because again, I didn't drink it in my wet. All I had was a Sprite. And so, and I think I had a bottle of water, but they thought I was drinking in my wet. So they were just passing around to the girls and they went and got more bottles. And next thing I know, I look around and again, there's 2 chairs, me and a young lady. We're standing on chairs together, not in the same chair, but I'm in one chair, she's in another chair. And we're dancing to the music because the South is being played. And I look up again, I look at my watch, it's now 3:30. And I'm like, yo, you gotta go. You gotta go. Like, there's no reason for you to stick around for this. And so I get down from the chair and I hear one of the young ladies say, well, what's happening when y'all leave here? Where y'all going after this? Where y'all going? We going home. Well, let me rephrase that. I'm going home. I don't know where y'all going, but I'm going home. And so it wasn't even like I was even trying to take nobody home because I literally needed to get home and get some sleep. I'm not somebody who has to have 8 hours of sleep, but I need to be functional, right? So it's 3:30. I'm like, yo, so my man, I at this point, I'm just calling him my man because I don't know his name. So I was like, yo, my man, appreciate it, man. I got to get out of here. He's like, yo, KD, man, yo, when you coming back in here, we need to link up. Da, 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 da. I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, I said, I'll be here Friday. I was lying my ass off. There was no way I was coming back in 112 on Friday. I managed to leave 112 without him saying, hey, let me get your number or let me give you my number. Because at that particular time, I had a cell phone, but the big thing was the 2-way pages. He had a 2-way. I didn't have a 2-way. I wasn't interested in getting a number. Again, I partied with this guy all night. I don't even know his name, right? And so I leave 112 at 3:30. I get to my apartment at 3:58. So I'm telling myself, okay, I could probably, jump in the shower real quick, And I took like the quickest shower. I may have been in the shower for 4 minutes. I was in there long enough to wash my little body and get into bed. I got into bed, and as soon as I put my head down, my alarm is going off at 7:25. Get up, throw on some clothes. My shirt isn't, and at this job that I work, like you had to be in a shirt and tie. And so shirt and tie and slacks. And so going to work wrinkled. I'm not hungover because again, I ain't had nothing to drink, but I am tired. I mean, like I put the T in tired. And so I'm just tired, but I'm going to work and I get to work. And like when I get to work, I'm like, okay, well, if I just told myself like, yo, if you can make it to lunch, you could go in your car, take a quick power nap and you'll be good. And so at this particular time, I ain't really drink coffee like that, but I had some coffee to kind of perk myself up. The coffee didn't work. And then, so it's time for me to go to lunch. And when it gets to lunchtime, I have the great idea of literally getting in my car, going around the corner, parking my car, and taking a nap for 45 minutes to kind of rejuvenate myself. Well, that doesn't work because my supervisor at the time says, hey, I'm taking office out to lunch. We're going to, I think we went to like Applebee's. So we go, Applebee's across the street. So we walk across the street to Applebee's. So now there goes the nap. Go to Applebee's and I order like a burger and some fries. Well, now the burgers got me even more sleepier as the itis sets in. So now I'm literally running off of maybe about 2.5 hours of sleep. I'm full, but I'm tired. And I'm like, nah, I've never done anything like this is on college level, but even in college, if I partied like that, like there would be times where you could get a nap, you know what I'm saying? Or you just know when to take your ass home. I didn't. That night at 112 was epic. So the day ends. So I don't get a nap. I'm tired. As soon as I walk out, I get in the car, go home. As soon as I walk in the door, Jay Fresh calls me. He's like, yo, there's a party at Tongue and Groove tonight, man. You trying to roll? Man, hell no. But nah, I couldn't. I was just tired, man. So I just remember I came home, took my clothes off, and my intent was to lay down for just, 30 minutes or so just to kind of get my bearings right. I laid down and I didn't wake up again until 6:00 the next morning. I was done. And that was the last time that I partied till 3-4 o'clock in the morning. I had a ball. I want to thank everybody who partied with me that night. I want to thank the brothers the homie who bought, rounds of Moet and everything. I want to thank the ladies who partied with us in that section. I don't know none of y'all. For all I know, y'all could be living across the street from me. I don't know anybody. I don't remember. I remember that night vividly, but it was a great time. It was a great night. I just don't have any friends from it. And I'm perfectly fine with that. But the lesson that I learned was you can party all night if you want to. And you can go someplace like 112 where you can party all night. But at some point, you got to go home. And at some point, you got to get some sleep. I did the next day, and that was the last time that I went to Club 112. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for me. Thanks again for checking out this edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast. We drop new episodes every Thursday and every Sunday. If you're on YouTube, check us out on YouTube as well. Also, be sure to check out our new baby. It's called the Rap Soul Podcast. It is my music podcast where we talk about hip hop, rap, soul, and R&B artists, as well as music from the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. Simply put, folks, it's the best music podcast that you've never heard, so make sure that you check it out. You can find it wherever you're listening or watching this podcast. Also, if you want to contribute to us financially, hit us up, $TWELVEKYLE. Also, we have merch. Click the merch link in the description box. There you can buy 12 Kyle Podcast t-shirts, hoodies, as well as coffee mugs. We got it for the low. Again, that's going to do it for me. I am your boy 12 Kyle. I'll catch you guys next time. 5,000. Chill.
Thanks again for listening to this episode of the 12 Kyle podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and share this podcast with a friend who needs the 12 Kyle podcast in their life. Every listen, every download, and every share helps us grow. Thanks for being a part of the 12 Kyle podcast community. We appreciate your support. We will catch you next time. 5,000.